A couple days ago, nintendocaprisun made a video talking about the top 25 places he would sleep at in Zelda games, and I think that is a genius idea. So I thought, hey, I've always wanted to live on Club Penguin, I should make a Club Penguin version of that. So thank you, nintendocaprisun, for the inspiration. Not that I think you're watching this, but you know, this video isn't a countdown. These locations are in no particular order, really. Also, I'm not including igloos because you can customize them to be whatever you want them to be, so it's a little too broad and non-specific of a place. I mean, that's like saying, top 10 places I'd sleep in the world. Number 1, my house. It's boring. I mean, this video is already stupid, but whatever. Here are 20 places on Club Penguin I would sleep at, starting off with the main rooms. Okay, the first spot on this list should come off as no surprise. Obviously, we're starting out with the ski lodge and the lodge attic. Yes, I'm gonna combine both of them into one spot because, you know, it's the same building, okay? Obviously, it's the coziest spot on Club Penguin. You got the little fireplace, a bunch of comfy chairs to sit in, both in the ski lodge and upstairs in the attic. The attic doesn't have a fireplace, so that's a bit of a con for the attic. However, one con you gotta consider for the ski lodge, the downstairs area, is the fact that there's a cuckoo clock in there that goes off every 15 minutes. Either way, this is definitely one of the best spots that you could sleep at on Club Penguin. I mean, look at this chair in the ski lodge. It's even got like a little footrest up there. Why the penguins don't even have legs, I don't know, but it's there if you wanna rest your feet. Yep. This next one is definitely a biased pick because this is my favorite room in all of Club Penguin, but I would definitely fall asleep in the EPF command room, specifically the 2008 version of the room. Now, I specifically chose this one over the sort of future command rooms because this one is sort of more hidden. It's more secret. This room is a secret room inside of a secret room. Now, you might be wondering, why would you sleep in here? This is like where you get your orders. This is like a workplace. Like, why? There's no way you would fall asleep in there. And to that I say, just imagine, right? Like, you're coming back from this really tough mission. The director's congratulating you, and you're like, Director, I'm really tired. Can I take a nap in here? And I think she'd say yes. And I mean, look at these chairs. Hear me out on this one. I want to fall asleep on the beacon, on top of the lighthouse. I think that would be fantastic. Now, you might think I'm crazy for this one because if you look closely in this image, there's not really any furniture. In fact, there is no furniture on the beacon. There's nothing really to sit on. So, you know, you'd have to sort of make do with just laying on the hard, flat floor here. But honestly, I think that's fine. You know, just bring a pillow and a blanket or something, and just imagine looking up at the sky, watching the clouds, watching the stars if it's nighttime. You would hear the ocean breeze right beneath you at the beach. Maybe I'm insane for that one. Possibly. I think it would be nice. Next, we got the book room. This should be another obvious one. It's another cozy little room, but I think the biggest factor here for the book room is if you look at this couch here on the right. That is a good couch. That might be, if I were to make the top 100 chairs on Club Penguin. Like and subscribe for that video, by the way, to see top 100 chairs on Club Penguin. But spoiler alert, I think this chair may just be number 1. I don't think there's a chair better than that one. This couch right here, I mean, just look at it. The shape is so unique and distinct. It looks so comfortable. Like, you sit on it, you sink right into it. Like, that is the perfect couch. I would love to fall asleep on that couch. This one might also be a little weird, but I would fall asleep at the stage. I have a bit of a nostalgia for falling asleep during theater productions, and it's not because like I ever found the plays to be boring or anything. Sometimes that was the case, but not always. Usually the fact was just like I just found the auditorium seats to be so darn comfortable. Like, and I mean, look at the chairs here. They look so comfy. And I love the lighting of the stage. You know, everything's sort of dark and red, and I just think the lighting is really nice. It would be an ideal spot to fall asleep. And so maybe, you know, like after hours, after a show is completed, I would fall asleep at the stage. And also, I just want to call attention to the carpet really quick. I mean, that's got to be, I mean, that could potentially be like I wouldn't say number 1, maybe number 2 or 3 carpets in all of Club Penguin. So I was originally going to have the beach on this list, just because there's usually, like in the missions and stuff, there's always that one penguin lounging on a beach chair, falling asleep at the beach. Thought it would be a cute little reference, but the more I thought about it, I was like, the beach is kind of boring, right? There's not a lot going on there aside from the lighthouse, and I already said I'd fall asleep at the beacon. So I think the cove is actually a much better choice. There's a bit more stuff going on here. You've got the nice warmth of the fireplace. You've got surfers coming and going. You've got a nice little surf hut that you could potentially rest in. It's a nice spot. Now, the only drawback here is I think there's not really much comfortable furniture here to sleep on. You know, our main chairs here are these logs around the campfire, and those might be fine to sit on, just to sit around the campfire, but they would not be very comfortable to fall asleep on. I think the ideal thing here to do is to just bring one of the chairs from the beach to the cove, and that's where you sleep. That's the ideal way to sleep at the cove. I don't know, I just think I'd like to sleep at the cove. Okay, this is where we start getting into some strange territory here. We're gonna go to the dojo for this one, but not the dojo itself. There's too many Cardjitsu battles going on in there, way too hectic, you won't be able to sleep at all. Instead, we're gonna go down to the secret room, into the Puffle training room, seen only in the DS games. But this is, again, similar reasoning for the command room. It's a secret room. Not many people know about it. It's kind of hidden away from the rest of the room. It's this nice little tiny room. The only problem, again, sort of is like there's not really any furniture here. If you look at the left side of the room, it looks like there's these little chairs here with some nice little cushions on it, and they look pretty comfortable from the brief little glimpse that we've seen of it. So I would definitely sleep there. I mean, I can imagine, you know, training with the elite Puffles in here. You just finished training with PH. You're just like, hey PH, you mind if I just take a nap here? She's like, sure. Why don't you take the elite Puffles and they can snuggle with you, you know? Who wouldn't love to snuggle with a Puffle? Speaking of Puffles, the fun doesn't end there, because the next location on the list is the Cloud Forest. And this may be a bit of a scary spot to sleep, and I understand that, you know, if you have a fear of heights, you may worry that you might toss and turn in your sleep and, you know, fall down and die. But I mean, you know, penguins can walk up here, so the clouds are definitely, like, they're soft, but they're still sturdy enough to support you, so you don't have to worry about falling through. And I think the perfect spot here, of course, is this little cubby hole here, where all the Rainbow Puffles gather. Now, the only problem here is we have to make sure that the Rainbow Puffles are okay with that. You know, we wouldn't want to intrude on their space if that's not what they want. Continuing on with our weird little rooms, it doesn't get much weirder than this. I would love to fall asleep in the box dimension. I don't know, I think it would be quite peaceful to sleep in the box dimension. I've always found the box dimension to be kind of strangely peaceful, you know? Like, it just looks, it's so bizarre that it's almost sort of graceful. Just imagine, like, maybe opening up one of these boxes and just going inside and having a nice little nap in there. Maybe going in one of the more floaty ones and going for a ride around the box dimension as you just sort of lean back and close your eyes. I think it would be really nice. And the last of the quote-unquote main rooms, even though this one really isn't a main room, but you'll see why I'm calling these main rooms in a bit. You're gonna have to hear me out on this one, but I want to sleep in Herbert's lair. Now, let me explain myself here. So Herbert's whole deal, right, is that he wants warmth. He hates being cold. He's doing everything he can to make sure that he can stay warm on this snowy island. By the way, I should probably address that, like, you know, I'm just gonna pretend that, like, my body is accustomed to the cold of Club Penguin. Otherwise, I'd just be freezing everywhere on this list, so it wouldn't make much sense. Anyway, back to Herbert's lair. He's all about the warmth, and he's got this whole elaborate base here, right? I mean, he has installed a security system in here. You're telling me that Herbert would install a security system over some kind of heating system, some kind of indoor heating? No way. This place has got to be pretty warm. Now, there's another problem here, right? And that's that, like, would Herbert let you sleep in his base? Probably not. He's probably going to be pretty annoyed if he sees some random person come into his base. But I think if you explain yourself right and you're just like, dude, look, I'm just looking for a comfy, warm place to sleep, I think you'd sort of get on the same page, right? And Herbert would be happy to have some company. So that is why I would love to sleep or take a nap or just hang out in Herbert's lair. Now, before we move on to the next section of the list, I want to briefly go over some areas that I didn't mention that you might have expected me to. So first of all, I did not mention the gadget room. Now, the only reason I would sleep in the gadget room is assuming that the music is playing in there 24/7 on loop constantly. The gadget room doesn't have much furniture in it. In fact, it really doesn't have any furniture. There's not really a comfortable spot to sleep in. And also, Gary is probably in there working on some invention, and it's probably going to blow up at least 2,999 times. So you probably won't get much sleep in the gadget room, so that's why I didn't put it on the list. The next location is the pizza parlor. Now, this at first seemed like an obvious one to include because, you know, the iconic music in there, Charlie's Here. Everyone loves that song. Who wouldn't want to fall asleep in a place where it's playing all the time? But another problem to consider here is, like, the furniture. Again, it really comes down to the furniture. There's nothing really, I mean, you got the chairs, but, like, you're not going to fall asleep at the table. That's just not good etiquette, right? Looking at the chairs again, like, I don't know, I've always thought that those chairs at the pizza parlor, they don't look that comfortable. I don't know, like, I'm just saying, the top 100 chairs video, like and subscribe, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned that, like and subscribe, and comment for the top 100 chairs on Club Penguin. I don't think they'd make the list. They're not very good chairs. And also, you know, people are eating in here. Some people might be able, like, that might be ASMR to them. If people are eating around, I don't know. I wouldn't help me fall asleep. I would not sleep at the pizza parlor. No way. I really wanted to sleep at the iceberg because it's sort of like this secluded area far away from the island. I thought it would be very peaceful and quiet. But then I remembered, if you're going to the iceberg, you're almost certainly going to run into a group of penguins with jackhammers trying to tip the iceberg. And if that's the case, you're not getting any sleep at the iceberg. They're just going to be drilling constantly. It's going to be so loud. There's no way you're going to fall asleep at the iceberg. Absolutely no way. The last area I want to mention really quick is the Puffle Hotel. This might seem like the most obvious place to sleep at because it's a hotel. Its purpose is to provide a place for you to sleep at. However, the Puffle Hotel does not have any bedrooms. It doesn't have any bedrooms. It's got a bunch of creepy floors from the Halloween party, and it's just got like a gym and a spa, and then there's the rooftop. Now, in the lobby here, it has these little puffle beds, right? And it's like, I mean, they're kind of big compared to the average puffle bed. Like, a penguin can definitely fit in there. So maybe you could sleep in that. But it's like, I wouldn't fall asleep in a hotel lobby. Would you go to a hotel and just crash in the lobby? No, you want some privacy there. I do want to say, though, that couch in the bottom of the hotel, that's a top-tier couch. That would definitely be on the top 100 chairs video. Now, for this second half of the list, we're going to be talking about some party variations of rooms. If you don't know, Club Penguin had parties every so often, and they would completely redecorate all the rooms and stuff, and sometimes they change up the furniture, which may provide some new context to places to sleep at. First off, we're going to start with the submarine party of 2008 in the coffee shop. I mean, just look at this room. The vibes in this room are immaculate. It's so, look at the aesthetic going on here with all the dolphins, the seashells. Look at the seashell couches. Look at that furniture. Now, another room I want to mention really quickly to tie into the submarine party 2008 is the forest. Now, this looks kind of, strange and, not very comfortable at first, but if you look at the top right, there's this giant conch shell with a fish stuffy in there. And could you just imagine going into that giant conch, having that own little, private area in there, and you get a fish plushie to sleep with? Does it get better than that? I don't think so. That looks like a perfect, cozy little spot to take a nap at. Next on the list, we have the Puffle Party 2009, the first ever Puffle Party at the dock. Now, at the Puffle Parties, the dock was typically this giant scratching post-like area, and, I mean, look at this. This just looks so soft, so comfortable. I was always fascinated by this room as a kid. I loved just walking around this room because it was so fun. Now there may be a bit of debate here about which of the two scratching post tower things would you sleep at. Personally, I'm team right, the little green one on the right with the little doingy on the top. And I think the reason should be quite obvious. I mean, this one's got a whole little interior area, and it's got not one but two balconies to look off. And what does the other one have? Nothing. It's just a square. I think the answer is quite obvious here. This one, man. This one is beautiful. The Medieval Party 2009. Guess what room this is? Would you tell me that this is the ski lodge just by looking at this room? No, it looks nothing like the ski lodge. Okay, actually, it's got the Find 4 game in it, so that might be a dead giveaway. But still, I mean, what a glow up, man. Look at the beautiful floor pattern, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, the main thing here is this beautiful window here by the doors, and it's got this nice little cushioned bench. I mean, what a perfect spot to take a nap. Also, if you look closely here at the bottom right, there's a little tea party set up. It's got some tea and some cookies. I mean, what a thing to wake up to, right? You fall asleep in that perfect spot, looking out the window, you wake up, and then all your friends are over for a tea party. Let's move on, though, to the music jam of 2009. Lots of 2009s here, I'm realizing, but I can't help it. 2009 has some perfect spots to sleep at. We're going to the coffee shop again. I mean, just look at this energy here. The colors, everything is so cool. The lighting in here is fantastic. This dark blue, just the minimal lighting, it's fantastic. Now, we've got a few options for where we're going to fall asleep here. There is a nice little couch in the corner here. That might be the ideal spot to sleep. But I don't know. These chairs here by the tables, they look pretty comfortable too, despite just being chairs, you know? I mean, it's the top 100 chairs. Like and subscribe. These would rank pretty highly, I would think. We've got one more 2009 party before we move on, and if you know me, this should be no surprise. I'm, of course, talking about the Festival of Flight, the best party of all time in all of Club Penguin, and I'm gonna fall asleep on the hot air balloon ride. Now, this is sort of similar to the Beacon, because there's no real furniture in here. There's like two little stools, but you're not gonna fall asleep on that. I think it would just be better to bring your own pillow and blanket or whatever, and to just look up at the sky if you can, because there's a giant balloon. But just sort of look at the sky as you're flying. And I think this is sort of where it kind of beats out the Beacon in a way, because you're just kind of watching the clouds move if you're falling asleep on the Beacon. But here, you're moving. You're moving in the balloon, and you get to just watch the sky move as you move. And I feel like it would be so peaceful. Jumping ahead, we're going to get a little weird here again. We're going to the April Fool's Party of 2011. Now, this party, they sort of expanded the box dimension a bit and added some more dimensions to travel to. So I have two dimensions picked out for this spot on the list, actually. The first one is the stair dimension. Now, you might look at this and be like, why would you fall asleep here? This hurts my brain. If you remember playing this, your penguin was upside down when you went in here, so why would you want to sleep upside down? I don't know, man. I just like the vibes of this room. It's so odd and perplexing, but at the same time, it kind of looks cozy. But I think the biggest factor as to why I chose this spot was because the music that plays, I do remember the music in here, was really nice. Take a listen. So that's the first dimension on here, but the next one is going to get a little bit more strange, and that's because we're going to the strange dimension. However, I think my reasoning for this shouldn't be that strange. I mean, look at this place. It just looks peaceful, does it not? And there's quite a few spots to fall asleep at here, too. I think the best one, personally, is that patch of flowers there. You could rest against a little Easter Island penguin head. Guys, whatever, I would definitely sleep in the strange dimension. Okay, now this one may be a bit controversial to say. I might get canceled on twitter.com for saying this, but Operation Blackout, the whole plot of this party was that Herbert, blocked the energy of the sun, and he took the energy of the sun to heat up this one little room for himself called Paradise. And sure, maybe hundreds of penguins had to freeze in order for this room to exist, but I mean, hey, Herbert knows how to decorate. I'm just saying, it would be comfortable. Objectively, right? We can't be biased here, right? This would be one of the best places to sleep. Look at that chair, it's huge. He's got beach towels laid up. He's got his own little mini beach to relax on. I mean, wow, what a guy, what a room. Those chairs are horrible though. Clearly those would not make the top 100 chair. Controversy aside, next we're going to be going to the medieval party of 2013 in the snow forts. Now this might not even look like the snow forts at first glance. They went kind of crazy with the room decorations in 2013, I know. But I mean, look at this place. If you look closely here at the bottom left corner, there's this little tent with an assortment of pillows. And it's right next to this little pond here, this flowing stream into a pond. There's another little tea party set nearby and a bench. I mean, and there's a swing too. Like, what a perfect room to relax in. And I mean, I just can't get over this little tent with the pillows. Like, that would just be the perfect place to sleep, I think. I think, honestly, out of all the places we've talked about, this may be the overall best place to sleep in all of Club Penguin. It's going to be hard to top that one, and I don't think we will. But moving on, we're going to go to the Merry Walrus Party. Now, the Merry Walrus Party obviously replaced the holiday party for some strange reason. I don't know. But we're not going to talk about that. What we're going to talk about is the Mine Shack area of the Merry Walrus Party. And you may look at this and you'd be like, oh, are you going to sleep in the toy workshop? No, I would have shown the interior of that if that were the case. I'm talking about these little, I don't even know if this is like a carousel or something, but these little ornament chairs, it's just perfect. Like, it's so contained and, like, private, and the cushioning in there looks really nice. I just think it would be such a nice little comfy spot. I don't know, something about this little ornament chair I really like. It would definitely be in the top 100. Okay, we have reached the final area on Club Penguin that I would sleep at. Is it going to be a climactic ending? Probably not. It's the Puffle Party of 2015. Again, we're back in the snow forts. Now, there's kind of, again, a lot going on here. This is sort of more like a treehouse than anything. But if you look at the top right here, there's this little, like, puffle bed-like material thing, part of the fort. It's got, like, a tree coming out of it, and I just think that would be such an ideal spot to take a nap. You could lean against the tree, Phineas and Ferb style, but you've got this nice soft puffle bed, giant puffle bed beneath you. I mean, how perfect is that? How perfect. You've got the shade of the tree. You're nice and high above everyone else. It's just a perfect spot. And also, if you look at the lower left corner, there's another puffle bed here. This one, though, there's not really a tree there to lean against. But I think the top spot there with the tree, that is just a really good spot. Definitely an ideal sleeping position. But that's going to wrap up this video. That was 20-some places that I would sleep at on Club Penguin. Let me know where you would sleep on Club Penguin, and then we can all have a nice little nap. Wouldn't that be perfect? Sure would. This is so stupid. Why did I do this? Like, comment, subscribe if you want to know what the best chair in all of Club Penguin is!